Hey, what's up, everybody? It's been a few weeks since I've hopped on here, so I figured now is a good time to give everybody an update on a few things. I've got a little bit of a list. I'm going to try to blow through these pretty quick and try to see if I can keep this at a reasonable time. Um, we've got a few things from a safety perspective I want to touch on, as well as a few things around the plant, and then going forward, looking at the calendars. Uh, First thing from a safety perspective, as we look into finishing up June, going into July, uh, we have decided as of tomorrow on uh, Tuesday the 23rd, we are going to discontinue taking everyday temperatures of employees. Uh, and we are also going to say that face coverings are optional at this point. I would say they are encouraged, but optional. But we are going to discontinue those two things as being mandatory at this point, as we kind of see how the weather goes and how some things are evolving out there. I will tell you, if there is an additional positive case, we will definitely resume those criteria at least for a couple weeks after a positive case. But right now, we're going to make a little bit of a modification in how we're proceeding, and we want to get everybody back to um, doing their normal routine as far as getting here, punching in, so on and so forth. Do not turn around and start punching in earlier. We've been doing a real good job of everybody kind of punching in when they're supposed to and not being too early. So let's not fall back on that. Uh, but obviously, outside of work and everything out as it deals with COVID, a lot of states opening up, a lot of different things happening. This is just our first step of evolution, and we're going to see what happens. And hopefully, we don't have to deal with another positive test, but we have a plan if that were to happen. We are still going to continue to do the weekly sanitation stops, as well as the daily checks and cleaning, trying to keep our environment as clean as possible. So we will continue to do that. We're just going to stop doing the temperatures and the mandatory masks. If someone is under the weather and they want to get checked from a temperature standpoint, or if we feel that someone is under the weather and they need to get checked, I will have a thermometer. We will leave a thermometer on the off shifts for the supervisors. Gina will still have one, and Mark has one. So if anybody's feeling under the weather, they want to get their temperature checked, they will be available at all hours so that we can double check and test someone's temperature. I would encourage everybody to just continue to watch out for themselves. Um, I believe wearing masks out in public is beneficial, uh, but working on the machine, working out on the floor, we get it. It is a pain in the ass. So we're not going to make it mandatory, but I would encourage you to still keep them on you and have as a benefit. So as we work into July as well, we're going to get back a little bit on track from a safety video standpoint. Expect videos to be mandatory to complete by the end of July. What I've been telling everybody ever since this started is try to keep up on them, because when they're all due, they're all due. So we're looking at the end of July to have everybody caught up on mandatory videos. So if you haven't done any of them and you got to do 8, start planning. You're going to have to get 8 videos done by the end of July in order to get a full team sharing check. So start checking in. If you forgot your login at this point, don't wait until the last minute. Let's hurry up and start whittling away at those so we don't have a mad scramble at the end of the year. Uh, from a safety topic standpoint, it's starting to warm up. Continue to stay hydrated. Number one thing about staying hydrated, it doesn't just happen while you're at work. You got to continue to drink water, Gatorade, electrolytes, staying hydrated before you come to work. Don't be dehydrated when you walk in the door, because it's really hard to catch up once you're out there sweating and trying to catch up. You should be maintaining while you're at work. It should be maintaining while you're at home. So it looks like it's going to be in the 80s this week and possibly increasing next week. So let's stay on top of the hydration standpoint and keep looking out for each other, as well as making sure we're getting enough breaks and keeping everybody hydrated out there. Next week, we are going to be off for the 4th of July observed on the 3rd of July. So we will not be working on Friday the 3rd of July. This has been posted for a while uh, down at the time clock, but there's still been some questions. We will not be working on the 3rd of July. So you have a 3-day weekend to observe the 4th of July. We are encouraging everybody to take a good look at your vacation calendars because obviously a lot of people haven't been doing a whole lot the last couple of months. We can't have a mad rush all in the last 2 months of putting vacations in, trying to squeeze them all in. So take a look at where you're at when it stands to vacation. Start planning ahead and try to get some stuff on the calendar, please, so we're not all scrambling to come October because we need to start getting cutoff dates and get everybody scheduled. And remember, the last week of the year, we will not be running production on the 28th, 29th, 30th, and those will be unpaid days unless you put them in for vacation. So if you want to use your extra days to make sure you get a full paycheck for those days, look ahead, get those on the calendar as well. But we're encouraging everybody to start putting stuff down because we know we got a lot of people that haven't used some vacation yet due to all the lockdowns, and we need to kind of start tightening that up. The week before Christmas right now is off. 21, 22nd, 23rd is full. So do not expect to get that at this point. We've got a lot of people that have put in for that. So there's still available time around other holidays, not the week before Christmas. And so a couple other things I want to touch on from a productivity standpoint. We're having a real good month. I had a couple hiccups last week between a starch pump failure and the MFA on the C-flute rolls. Before we ran into those troubles at the end of the week, our numbers were definitely trending in the right direction, pushing 95% uptime. We were almost there and took the hiccup to fall back. But we continue to push it here in the last 2 weeks of the month. And I feel like we can get those numbers back up over 95%, continue to drive our speeds up over 44, and push towards 45. So thanks for all your efforts on that. Everybody's been pushing the machine where we can. We still got a couple things we got to work out as we start up this new set of corrugated rolls back there. But overall, our productivity, our uptime is trending in the right direction, and our focus on quality has been excellent the last 2 months. So continue to pay close attention to what's going out these doors, and we have happy customers. Our numbers have been really good from an overall finished quality standpoint, customer returns. We do need to keep an eye out on missed tags and counts. That's the only thing that's kind of still lingering a little bit. We still have some issues with, and we've had a couple missed tag bales and count issues here in the last couple of weeks. So from a dry end standpoint, we just need to make sure we're staying on top of that. If you don't think you got it right the first time, let's just flip that tag around, make sure we get it right before we ship out to the customer. But overall, things have been looking good, and we continue to trend in the right direction from productivity, waste, quality, uptime. So thank you for that, and continue to keep that focus on. And so from that standpoint, I want to thank everybody for putting in the effort here lately. We've been doing really well, especially as we got some problems on the machine and continue to work through those. But the warm weather is coming. We got to continue to push towards our next goals, and I feel like we're headed in the right direction. So that's all I have for right now. Hopefully we get through the end of the month and everybody can enjoy a nice holiday. If you got any questions regarding things we're doing, things we're changing and things go as it relates to COVID and how we're doing things, please come see me, talk to Gina, talk to Darcy. We're all available to talk about things. We're just trying to do our best to work through issues and kind of evolve like everybody else is. So thanks again for sitting down. If you got any questions, come see me. Thanks.